Welcome back to Total Warhammer 3 in part 11 of our Wurzzag, the Great Raven Prophet campaign. In today's episode, we are here to bring down the border prince's settlement of Myrmidons. One of their rather large armies filled with mostly handgunners and a single unit of mortars has fled back behind these walls. We won't see them until we hit the battle, get the battle started, but there are a fair few Imperials hiding behind these gates, or lads of the Southern Realm. Hopefully the Southern Realms get added on in at some point here, but we've got kind of a split up unit of all of our missile resistant boys off on one side here, followed up by the Swamp Things. They're going to lower any melee attack of the opponents they will be engaging once they do get up on top of those walls. Their job is going to be sprinting at those walls at maximum speed while being shot at by crossbows and handgunners. Behind them is all of the club orcs, the big ones with clubs. They will be following in to crush anyone who is left standing. Then we've got the Graka mobs and one other unit of those war boys to finish off whatever is left. Kind of same thing on the other side, but I'm going to leave them back until we kind of see what the enemy is up to with their deployment. And then we'll charge them on up to kind of act as a two-pronged assault here on this Imperial town. Let's get to it. We don't want to clump up our lads too much simply because... there they all are. Simply because they've got mortars. We'll send Wurzzag into Swamp Things forward. Everyone else back. Although with the... no, we don't want those pistoliers to get you firing, because just a little bit of dedicated shots into Wurzzag there hurt quite badly. You can dodge a lot of that with that's coming out of the crossbow, but not the handgun shots. If we get brain burst to anyone off the top of the walls here. Blast those coolers. Once that goes off, we'll hit the double overcast foot of Gork. Just drop down a couple spells, angry-like. A lot of enemies up here on this wall, so I'm going to let them actually start shifting, and then we will charge on in to break them after. Right, the Savage Boys are in. None have taken any damage on the way to the walls. Send the biggins with gloves up a little bit further, and then now that everyone is down off the walls, we can send the Graka mobs around. Wurzzag and company should get through those gates pretty quickly. Smash them harder. I don't know if it'll actually hit all the boys that are in here, so let's wait a little bit. Let's send these guys around to get up on top of the walls there. You guys double down on those halberdiers. Perfect. Yeah, they're just gonna keep everyone up on. Handguns actually won't do that much damage to the trolls on their way in, so time to send the boys in. Let's get those walls. Greg can't do much damage, so I'm going to wait, keep him back. We're about to get through the gates, which means the club biggins need to head on through those gates. Swamp Things, charge on in. You and Wurzzag are going to be kind of the main stopping force here. Chop them up, boys. Wurzzag, you come on away a bit. Let's drop down the spells on you. In fact, we can go for Brain Burst since they can't remove, and then we'll go for another Foot of Gork on all of these handguns and great swords that are up in front. In fact, send the cavalry up and through. And then we'll go ahead and shift this hero around to go after the general. At least come on in and help out Wurzzag. Alright, Wurzzag back in. Let's get the Swamp Things a bit more melee defense. Give them some help. And everyone in range here can get a bit more damage. Looks like there's a couple more fighting the halberdiers there, so let's give them some help. Smash on in. Wurzzag, it actually isn't all that great of a duelist. Let's go ahead and pull him away. See if we can't get him involved with these crossbowmen here. They're starting to fire on our lads up on the walls, which we can deal with, no problem. Give everyone their better targets. They're going through in after those crossbows in the back line. Guys, through these gates yet? Ah, they're getting there. Little by little. You guys chop these swordsmen to bits. Come on down and get engaged with this group. Looks like they're throwing up the ladders. Yes, everyone else can start moving on forward. Through. Looks like we've got Wurzzag is doing just fine. We could just go for the... now let's do the Foot of Gork Overcast. Although that's the cavalry's charging on through, we don't really need it now. We'll drop it down behind. Just explode these handgunners here instead. Wurzzag come up and through, shut down these mortars. There we go. Did a lot more damage to Roan from the orcs. Didn't think they'd actually already closed the gap that well. On down there, boys. Break them. Get ready to whoa. Let's get through those gates quick. I'm gonna run these swordsmen over. Boys are almost ready to get through. You start crumping anyone you can. Kurt needs a hug. You're the perfect man to give him one. Hold them up through and in on these handgunners that are starting to take shots on behind, which is no fun. Whereas I can only chase off so many of them at a time. Boom, that unit there. Perfect. And we'll just have him keep turning back around and chasing off these mortars. Finished off that hero quick. Get in here and shut down, maybe not these halberdiers, but let's go after that other group. We'll sit everyone as one huge blob. Swamp things go up there and shut down the miners and blasting charges there. They could be a huge issue. Foot of Gork on all these poor fools running. Swing back around. Definitely need to get some of these guys down here taking out these crossbowmen. Looks like we got through just in time. Just everyone on this one unit of crossbows. We'll send the cavalry up in on these handguns here. Beautiful. Through. Can't get bogged down for long. Nobody gets shot to pieces. Like what's currently happening here. Halberdiers stop them. Increase that armor piercing damage to get through those halberdiers quickly. You savage orcs stay and fight. Just rampaging through the town. Smashes into those miners, goes straight through them. The more of our units we get into a melee, the more we are able to get another wall going. Next group of handguns perfectly just ran that group over. And our cavalry is moving quickly. They might be trying to maneuver so they can hit. Now they're just running away. There's no tactics going down there. You guys go after those halberdiers. Push through into the next group. They've got some swordsmen there. Oh, that's about to be a glorious charge. Oh, it's too late. And mulched. Savage Orc boys are gonna do. Oh no, that's the white flag. They gave up. Perfect. Sorry, Myrmidons, just didn't have it. All right, we actually only ended up losing 44 orcs into the fight. I actually thought we exploded more on accident with Wurzzag's spells, but those boys got through that fight like champions. Kurt was in march stance, so his entire crew was tired, but didn't seem to matter much. They got run right over. I'm tempted to go for the raising, but we only get 1,900 gold, whereas we get 13,000 for sacking the settlement, which we are definitely going to do. Sack the settlement, and then likely we will turn around and... I'm tempted to go ahead and just stay here. We'll attack it once more next turn for another bit of WA points. We can... possibly then either sack it once more and just kind of move on from there. We'd like to get to our next wall as fast as we can, because we've kind of realized that unless we're playing as Wurzzag's forces himself, the rest of our armies are incredibly weak by comparison. So they really need their WA unit to help out. We've got Fred camping out next to Ockendorf here, as Landor Doomstar has started up a siege against the Golden Order. See how that plays out. Hopefully with us sitting next door, he'll be more likely to engage that battle. Cazador decided he was going to jump through. He was actually over here last turn. jump through to attack Bragg to Wurzzag. All of the stunty forces are doing everything they can to not fight our armies, even though we don't necessarily match up all that well against them in a 1v1. But we've just got a lot of enemies rolling around. We need the wall in order to actually compete. I've brought Zugrak through onto Black Crag. Really like to get Black Crag up to the next tier. It has become easily one of our best strongholds. Incredibly well defended now. It's got both a shaman and a big boss. Well, some trolls. Even some more biggins. So things are looking very, very defensive over here at the Black Crag. However, Zugrak's troops themselves are not all that great. Likely we are going to make this the Black Orc army. So it would be probably a good idea to grab in Drillas, Killas, and all the other big, mean Black Orc forces. However, we are so negative at the moment in our income. I'd like to just make sure we are solidified with some of these other armies first. We've got all these beautiful ROR units. We're going to continue to kind of save them. Then we'll have a nasty force kind of out of nowhere. All of the Black Orc ROR is going to go into the same army. And that'll be a nice, deadly ROR style.
Anything you say.
There, and we'll come over here to Rachnik. Actually do kind of the same thing. So he's got some goblins. I don't mind keeping some chaff units on in. These Gobbo archers are pretty much the next most useless unit in his force. So we'll come on in and grab... Saw we had unlocked the Ragnarok Queen. And then, as he is Rachnik Spiderclaw, he deserves the Spider Queen. Armored, armor piercing, anti-large, which the anti-large isn't as useful for us, but all of the extra goblins on the back chucking off missiles the entire time is fantastic. And I believe she can actually summon in maybe a Ragnarok spiders 5 different times, yeah. Fantastic. I don't think these guys have the armor piercing that the forest spirits do, that Drycha or even Rakarth can recruit them, but I don't think they'll have the armor piercing. They'll just be a little nuisance unit. Very good at running down Belegar's rangers. Our poor income. We'll get it sorted out eventually. Let's go ahead and start an upgrade in the Stone Mine Tower, see if I can't convince Belegar to come through and attack, since Rachnik is in his ambush stance. If it doesn't work, I'll may quickly transition to not upgrading Stone Mine. We'll see. We have spent so much extra population that has been lost just through losing Ekrund. Alright, Wurzzag, for you, I think we continue working down your blue, although we don't have Arcane Conduit yet, so that's probably what we need to focus down. His blue line's important, but we don't have the most important spell casting. Let's go for... Headbutt's actually a pretty solid spell. It's got no armor piercing at all, which makes it nigh useless against the one faction we've been struggling against. So let's grab Rain Bursta, though this one also doesn't have any armor piercing. But it has magical attacks and it does throw units around, so we'll see if we can make use. Looking fancy, looking good. Wurzzag, let's go ahead and bring Larry's skill points up to snuff as well. Gather the tribes, give us a little bit more attack. LINECRACKA for speed. Yeah, it's definitely going to be LINECRACKA on him as well. Speed, and it gives him the Deadly Onslaught ability that goes in alongside his Wild Fury. When a duel, that Savage Orc Big Boss is going to be a nasty contender. We need to get him some better weapons. He has no talisman at the moment, so I'm going to give him the Obsidian Lodestone. I have been corrected by... CI did post a... kind of a blog post about how damage works. I'm thinking once they have all of those, because it looks like they're going to have a series of those. Once they have all of those out, I may put them to kind of a video to kind of give everyone the ins and outs on how damage and range and all the different things work in said Warhammer. But we did learn that... back to my lad as I'm trying to explain.
Let's do it.
And as you probably already knew, and I was just mistaken, spell resistance has nothing to do with magical attacks themselves. So magical attacks, all they do is they ignore physical resistance. They still count as normal attacks, and they don't ignore armor either. I didn't think they ignored armor, but I did think that you could reduce it with spell resistance. Turns out, no, absolutely not. This only works on spells or abilities that are cast on a individual unit. So anything that's magical attacks ignores spell resistance entirely, because it wouldn't be affected anyway. For any who did not know, we'll start raiding Myrmidons. We are up into the Straggler. I think we can get this up to the next WoW very, very quickly, which will be Very important for us. Lord not moved. Rachnik is in sneaky mode. What do you mean he's not moved? Listen, cats. There's no cat duel right now. There's recording. The smallest cat is in heat. So instead of just being obnoxious, she also likes to try to start fights with all the others. It is what it is. Let's check our diplomacy and we'll turn. There's no wah at this house.
I got.
Yes.
Just in the Badlands. Yeah, no good deals to be had for now. Alright, quick jump cut. We had to actually stop that before it turned into a full-blown conflict. And turn. Alright, so Clan Angrid has actually come on over. Turns out our ambush failed as it tends to. But they went over to a faceless. Looks like they don't have any artillery themselves, but they do have 3 units of rangers, which would be pretty deadly. As well as his 2 ghostly companions here, which will be fully unbreakable and have all sorts of nasty debuffs and buffs will be passing out to their squad. Luckily, these guys don't have any armor at all, so as long as we can find at least one of our units here with magical attacks, we may be out of luck. No magical attacks. Alright then. It says it'll be a close defeat. I'd like to at least fight it and see how much damage we can do and pull back if things get too dicey. We do have the rock lava and that several very speedy units try to be at least a nuisance to the Dawi here. Take a quick look at the map. Oh yeah, then we've got a nice little choke point too. Since they are attacking, the Dawi will actually be advancing on us instead of staying back like they normally do. Let it begin. Alright then, so that is a bit of high ground for them. Is there any water or small, or like, shallows we can use? No, just geysers. There's some shallow water over here. The river trolls tend to fight better in water. Maneuver a little bit, interestingly. The Dawi will have a lot of extra issues fighting in the water, so we'll kind of send the river trolls up. Have all of these other gobos taking the other side, just trying to keep skirmish chariots and otherwise. I'll just keep them in out of melee mode, in guard mode as well. Go, and then we'll have also Logie Bogies, Spore Splodas. We'll keep them back with the main group though. It'll be fantastic at rolling through the line. Rock Labas. Ragnarok are fairly expendable Gabo archers, as well as the Gabos themselves. Probably a good idea to have the goblins in the center and have the savage orcs kind of like so. Throw the rusty arrows off to the sides. They can actually get a nice flank around. And we'll dribble the goblin archers up. Also got the 8-peak loonies, who I'm also going to keep off to the side here for a nice flank on the Dawi. Do what we can. Maybe one them from the other side. We can throw them through one of these choke points here. They will be sneaky the whole way up, which would be great. Our 2 river troll hags. We'll bring them on over. We'll actually take a quick look at some of these units here, since a few of them we haven't even seen in battle yet. Obviously not tripping on our smaller units to start. Go. And we've got Rachnik. Bring Rachnik over. Kevin, you. We got all sorts of night goblins running around here. Oh, these spells. Muse discouraged. He should never really be in a melee, but we can make people discouraged if we ever are. Oh, he's the only one with magical attacks too. An interesting conundrum. Well, we've got lots of Arachnarok spiders to be throwing out. Rachnik and the Arachnarok Queen both. Right then. Here, it's set up as we can get. Let's get everyone in their units. Rock Labas, you'll go with the raid group. Our infantry. Cavalry-esque units, and then the big boys. Rachnik at the end. Cool. This either go fantastically or very, very poorly. Let's get it. Let's just move the river trolls up first. up in the water. Just kind of move everyone else up around too. Kind of like so. We know the Rangers are going to be moving in to be obnoxious. Everyone up and around will have the rock llamas get out of fire at will mode. Let them continue to chuck at these dwarf warriors though that are moving forward. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not to say we can't easily take advantage of that. We know those Rangers are there, so we'll make sure they're far enough away from the miners. We'll pull them back. Okay, that's some fair damage coming out. Alright, Arachnic. Let's go ahead and launch some Vindictive Glare. Not towards Beligar, but maybe towards some of his other units there. Just any of his other units. You do the same. Just launch that over at King Lun. Back a bit further. Looks like a lot of that didn't actually hit anyone. We're going to go ahead and launch some Swamp Breath when they get a bit closer. You guys in melee mode. Try to dodge that. You guys just go straight through those Rangers there. We'll veer off slightly. Oh, they're both going to target the same unit. That's smart. Go ahead and throw in the little spiders there. Charge on in. We'll have you go through. We're going to take some damage for sure. Kevin, come on back a bit. Pull the spider back. We'll have you guys just kind of run up around. Rangers actually fighting pretty well for themselves. Let's get them back on in. Giant Arachnarok Spider will have it charge back into these Quarrelers there. Send the 8-peak loonies out. Get all the way down. We can go for the Itchy Nuisance on everyone fighting against this group. Giant River Troll Hag will drop down the Spirit Leech, pull on away from the combat, so we can actually keep healing. Drop the Spirit Leech down on Throny as well. Then as soon as it does activate, kick in the Troll Breath. Drop in more spiders. Have them go from there to there. We got the Arachnarok itself. We can drop down the spiders too. Put things back under control.
I'll bite ya!
I'll bite ya.
Boom,
With your wall. Yeah, the spiders out of the side didn't do nearly as well as I kind of expected them to, so that's something we'll have to keep in mind. Drop down the extra armor piercing damage for the 7 orcs there. And blast some Swamp Breath. Don't even try it on the everyone around. How do you get in and start fighting Quarrelers? Pull the errors back. Point blank shots are fantastic, but you should pull probably away. We'll drop down another Spirit Leech. Now I think we can actually deal with that no problem without even using one. Vindictive Glare at Beligar. You need to pull on away. Oh, that's a unit of troops. Charge in. Yeah, our lads out of the sides didn't do nearly as well as I kind of hoped they would. Arachnarok dropped down even more little Arachnarok and baby spiders. You guys getting shot at.
Stabby time! Charge!
Full spiderlings don't do great in terms of the actual fight, but get them out there. Gonna bog down Beligar for a moment.
Stick up! Where's the cave?
Chuck in the loonies. Kind of angle it right. See if we can pull them on away.
Stab 'em!
You go ahead and dive on in. And pretty well ripped them to pieces. Pull you out of the fight though, just for a moment. Pull the spider through into this next group. You guys come on back over and let's bully these dwarf warriors. We've got a big blob over here. We're just gonna keep them bogged down. As long as we don't fight Beligar. Turn and deal with these slayers. We're ripping apart our Gabo lines. They're into the rock lavas then. Drop your equipment and run.
What you want? Snot legs! Let's crack!
Get in there, snotlings.
Let's crack! Charge!
Bring them back around to help out with these quarrelers here. Kind of regenerate as much health as you can.
The best!
Try it. Our spider queen's getting smacked. It'll come back though. No problem. We'll throw the nothing vindictive glare. I would rather have another spirit leech go down. To be honest. Pull on through. Try to deal with these slayers. Time to log in. Thank you. Beligar is dealing with that troll hag. Spiders having no ability to get through armor is a bit unfortunate. Let's see if we can take down the other unbreakable hero with some spirit leeches. You need to run away as quick as you can. Oh no, we're gonna lose Kevin. Rest in peace, Kevin.
Right side me! Shifting!
Things devolved pretty quickly there, since we didn't have our
Here's better than that.
not over yet.
One set. Moving fast!
Man, does it feel like it though? Alright, Arachnorok, you pull on away. I would prefer you actually survive this battle, so we'll just sprint all the way over here and we'll have you withdraw from there. River Troll Hag, go ahead and retreat. And everyone who is not dead, go ahead and withdraw.
Make it hard!
I'm gonna leave the archers in.
Go, go!
Trolls, let's go all after these dwarf warriors up on top. Once they get too close, we'll activate the can't move and we'll just run away. And go. Run.
This shrew will have ya!
Pull yourself back at them. We need to drop off more of the eggs there. Man. Just gonna sprint in and retreat. Alright, everyone else go ahead and it's time to leave. It is time to leave, except for you. Try to get in one more Spirit Leech off on that Thane there. That should actually finish them off.
Shifting!
Drop off your spiders as well so you can escape. Can't even tell them to withdraw. They're stuck.
York's not keen!
And withdraw. Right straight at those rangers. Get that Spirit Leech off on King Lun, and that should actually finish him off. You guys leave. I'm gonna have this other River Troll Hag blast Swamp Breath at these Dwarf Warriors here, see if you can bring them down. Got the Spirit Leech. Go for the Swamp Breath. Just keep running. Drop the spiders, but just keep running. Oh, I hadn't actually used the Swamp Breath yet. Fair enough. Time to retreat. Alright, time to go. go ahead and you can't actually give her the retreat order yet, so hopefully I'm able to once she gets a little bit closer to the exit. But give the order, get you on out of there. All of the different spider groups need to charge back in on who they can so the rest of our team can escape. Look at him run, he's just a little bit short. Wurzzag is fleeing, hopefully she gets out before Belligara closes that gap. Yep, there's our tactical retreat. We'll see if Belligara continues to finish off the job here. His army is pretty well injured, though. Alright, a valiant defeat. We did lose a couple of our units there, including the 8 Peak Loonies and one of the Savage Orcs, as well as our Deaf Creepers. So sad. I'll take the loss, though. We did take down both of his Ancestor Spirits, and they go after Brag to Wurzzag because they're very brave. Alright, the migration. A great migration comes to our borders demanding shelter. We could welcome them for some growth, some control drop. Yeah, we will. Welcome on in. Oh, Hunters of Kurnos were destroyed. Really? Fought that battle and lost?
No. This is my land.
Interesting. Here's what we will do then. I don't know if we can actually go after Bragvar because of the fact that we have no siege attack to this army.
Stop the wall.
So would it be a better idea to go after... Man, they are just attacking our minor settlements as much as they can.
I'll crush them all.
Can't quite hit Garag Dromar inside the mountainous region there. I'm tempted to go ahead and surround Bragvar and make Belligara come and defend. All of the armies would likely respawn, though.
Talk, send me to battle.
Maybe we go for an ambush over here at Ranka Hills.
No rights it this way.
Try be a bit morky. An ambush. Even if we don't get it, we have the defenders of Ranka Hills help. There's not that many, but we can use them as fodder easily.
Stop that.
Oh, he's got Iron Breakers. Man, y'all are able to upgrade while I'm having to fight off everyone at the same time.
Now's the time.
Brutal.
The boys are pleased.
Boys are pleased. What we need to do...
Who should we zap?
Looks like Belligara did turn around and run, even though he got out of that way more intact than we did.
Ready.
We'll have Arachnic do retreat back into the stone mine.
Fine.
Let's see about just getting your skill points for now.
Oh, yes.
Nastier squigs would be great. If it gave you armor piercing. Armor and melee attack for all goblins. 10 goblins inconvenient. 100 alarming. 1,000. Uh-oh. Yeah, let's go ahead and give him the inspiring present just to keep the experience kind of going across the board there. So we have lots of turns where he's just kind of sitting and waiting. We'll go for the increased replenished troops and the Spirit Leech. And we might just do that for both. Life Leeching would give us the opportunity to get a bit more reserves when casting. But 6% more replenishment sounds a little bit better. Get us back in the fight almost immediately. 1 and 2, we can recruit in a couple more goblins just to keep... Maybe instead of goblins, we grab some nasty skulkers for that armor piercing. They do trade pretty well against miners. I don't know if they outright defeat them. They would trade much better than normal goblins would. They can sneak up. Let's grab at least 2 units of skulkers. And what are we really missing? Kind of speedy units. We got a lot of them taken out. I don't really want a Suba Squig, but I'm happy to grab some armored Squig Hoppers. Look at these guys. More armor piercing. That's what we're really missing out on. Savage Orcs are very expensive in this army, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick them out. And I'm just gonna grab, Squig Hoppers are more expensive, but they're armor piercing and they move very quick. Let's grab it a couple of our boys here. They would actually have won in the 1v1 against the skirmish cavalry, the rangers, that is.
Has seen the future.
Okay, so Myrmidons, interestingly enough, we can't move back across the same way we came. I'm not sure why that is. I guess couldn't caulk the wagons.
Let's smash.
Go ahead and hit this one with an auto resolve. See how many of our poor boys it takes out, because it looks like it's going to be plenty. And not too bad. And then, while I would like to just sack it and go right across to Verdinos, looks like it's going to be mean to us. What we'll do is we will... Tough call. Sweet Occupy. I need Wurzzag back over fighting the stunties. To the teeth. Bonus be large and armor piercing. Sweet business. We need to make... He's already immortal. Perfect. So we need to make sure that old Larry here is immortal as fast as we can. Okay, well, having Myrmidons, it's got a tier 3 greenskin docks. Ruined, but we really would not be gaining much gold from this settlement at all. Actually, wouldn't be. And we pass this off to the undead gits. They're not close enough, I don't think. We would have to take Verdinos as well. Okay, so we'll just repair Myrmidons in the meantime. It costs 1,000 for that one, and 3 for the building itself. That's a lot of gold. Getting into some more raiding stashes would be pretty nice. In the meantime, we'll just grab the pile of shiny stuff and we'll not fix up the encampment there. We can't actually make use of the clay pots because we don't actually do any kind of trading. What I'll do is we'll take Verdinos back and then we'll trade them both over to the pirates, giving them a bit more of a foothold here. Still have... Oh, they actually lost Sartosa. The Skaven. She's struggling very hard. We'll have to keep trying to keep Sartosa alive then. Wurzzag, savior of pirates. Alright then. Well, I'd like Zugrak to threaten Karagdron. Got a fairly decent garrison, but if we bring in some Black Orcs and some cavalry, we'll easily run them over. We need to secure this province here before Clan Moors decides we are a juicy target.
Safe, yes.
That's still part of Iron Rock. Both of these guys could jump back through in the underway, though. We could choose not to intercept them, though, couldn't we? But then they could intercept us if we try to leave.
I'm off. You move.
Interesting decisions that have to be made for the underway. I mean, threatening both would have probably not gone after Zugrak here, but you never know. Let's add in just... Nuzgat's Bonebreakers have Armor Sundering and Armor Piercing, which I've come to realize that once you combine those two effects, it basically obliterates whatever you're fighting against. They just melt away no matter what level of armor they have. They lower it and then they pierce through whatever's left. Pretty incredible. We'll grab one of the ROR units. We'll just kind of hang back. As much as I'd like to recruit more. You know what? We'll grab the Broken Dusks mob. We're 5,000 negative. But we've got so many enemies that we can keep gaining it back that gold, no problem, as long as we keep them away from Ekron, our most important settlements, which the AI may be listening to as we speak. Any kind of deals to be had? Not even with Skarsnik, huh? Alright then. We have an outpost available. Yeah, I mean we do, but what does that do for us? We'll accept the mission to take down Cazador, and then we will end the turn. Alright, our army was spotted before it spotted or sprung the ambush. Likely we're gonna have to fight this Karazakarak army and then the Clan Angren one directly after, so hopefully we can do what we need. We will try to lure over the gyrocopters. I don't see too many quarrelers. He looks like he has... Oh, no quarrels. Just the one unit of rangers with great weapons. These guys have a little bit less range. They throw axes instead. We'll have one more battle here for the episode. Ironbreakers cannot attack air, which is not that useful for us, but if we can make sure we engage them with these spear Savage Orcs, or the units that we don't care about as much, we are going to These guys are going to be a problem. The Iron Breakers. Cannot lie. Get to it. Let's see if we can't come out of the woods, perhaps. We definitely want to take the high ground. Of course, the issue remains that our reinforcements are coming in 2 minutes. I'd really like to use them as the fodder here. Let's set up our forest gobos, although they don't have very much range at all. Up on the hill. Sneaky gates. Up on the hill. I'm going to have some of the nasty skulkers up here to just keep them safe from any kind of nonsense. They don't have any speedy units, so we don't really have to worry about that, though. Either way, keep them safe. We'll have the Savage Orc Arrow Boys also in the tree line there. But since they can chuck arrows further and actually had hold up in a fight, we'll keep them up front. Poison Gobos can lend some aid over from behind. Rocco's Bouncers, I'm going to keep them back in the corner. From behind this gulch here, we'll have the Goblin Wolf Riders out to try to lure the enemy gyrocopters on over into their doom. You two in all the cavalry together, these two in guard mode. Savage Orcs with spears up front. They are 100% going to be our fodder. Then we'll have the other Savage Orcs kind of nearby, the ones that have the missile resist. Ready to kind of move in wherever they're needed. Pull them down like so. We've got some reserve troops too. Kind of spread them out. Keep some of the long, the ones with long weapons. That bonus versus large will be great against the gyrocopters if they decide to land, which they do sometimes decide. Make that interesting decision. Bring good old Wyvern on over, and let's battle started. Got 2 minutes till our reinforcements arrive, but I think we should easily be able to last until then. Get started. Okay, so here's the plan. Skirmish cavalry, you're going to be incredibly obnoxious. Let's go bother these gyro bombers. Let's leave these other wolf raiders. These guys are the, if my micro's not good and I need someone to get shot by gyro bombs, they're my guys. Fortunate one. They're just gonna retreat, huh? Or roll the line back. I can follow. Don't think I can't. In fact, unless this is where your rangers are, you're in trouble. I want to get too close. I don't want to get shot at by those brimstone guns if I can help it. My spider riders actually have a bit of fire resistance, so they'll absorb that a bit better. Oh yeah, armor-piercing missiles against heavily armored gyrocopters. Sign us up. They can start firing back. No, they're just gonna wait for our reinforcements. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Keep layering that fire, though. You guys get away from those trees. You're wasting some of your shots there. They've lost one of their helicopters. It's time for evasive maneuvers. Fair enough. Because you guys off of fire at will. See if we can get them moving in a straight line. They're gonna go hide in the woods. Got these two units as well to go deal with. 12 seconds. I can bring our wolf riders all the way up. You guys stay here. I'm gonna bring the nasty skulkers around. Savage Orc boys, you guys come to here. Up front. And off to the side. Okay, so let's have you guys go all the way over, because it looks like they're going to send the gyrocopters through. Get a bit brave. of it like that. Alright, one's going all the way through, so go on, bring the wolves back. Have you guys go deal with them. Those wolf raiders are going to get taken down. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Yeah, I thought you'd just run. You guys need to keep moving up because the Iron Breakers are going to close that gap, but that's going to be a bad time for everyone. Go ahead, move back. Oh, we caught him. That's a bad time. Get back quickly. Savage Orc Era boys can get to work on those gyrocopters. Yeah, because of that bad micro on my part, we're going to get some bombs. Luckily, it's on the best units to get bombed. Push the spears up. Greg Gut Puncher. Come on through and deal with these gyrocopters. Bringing them down relatively quickly. Ouch, those steam guns hurt. As one would expect. They actually had a unit of the Thunderers back there, all along. From the Iron Breaker shots, luckily those aren't going to be too effective. The gyrocopters are just trying to run. Layer in those shots where you can there. You've got them good and surrounded. Go ahead and charge in on those Dragonback Slayers. We'll have the Squigs come around back. Poison arrows, get those layered on in on those Dragonback Slayers. Keep our reserve troops in. Greg, come on in and start beating down on this Rune Lord. Fall back, deal with another group. Retreat before those Iron Breakers start. No, it's gonna be a bad time. Run those normal Dwarf Warriors down. And then from there, everyone can just charge on in and break them. You're going to take a lot more damage than initially wanted, though. Go ahead and ride down this group. Got to get through first, though. Skulkers get in on this group. Smash those Rangers. Get those lads into the fray if they're ready. Alright, one of their lords is down. Get ready to wall. Drop the healing potion and go ahead and pull them away from those hammerers. Hammerers are mean. Quick hoppers, go ahead and run those miners down. If we get out of there quick enough, that'll be more friendly fire than anything else. Nah, not quite so. Come on into the back of these Dwarf Warriors here. Keep mauling them, boys. Let's kick them. Big come back through, break this group. Skulkers, come on in and stop these Iron Breakers for a moment. Greg, you crash right back into those hammers. Hit him with a deadly onslaught. Skulkers do have that armor piercing, so they're actually getting through where a lot of others wouldn't. They just got exploded. Rest in peace, those spider riders there. Where is their last kind of vestiges of leadership? Fred, we need you up in the air and chasing down gyrocopters. You are on gyrocopter duty. You guys run back through, take this group down. pull back just a bit there. Those Thunderers are going to hurt, as anyone here would expect. Force Gobos will bring you to bear against these Iron Breakers. Just get that poison layered out wherever you can.
Building fast.
Here we go!
I think they stopped the Iron Breakers from firing, which is all we really needed. Activate the wall is immediately. You chase that group all the way off, but it's just one more group of gyro copters left.
Here we go! Run, boys!
Don't want everyone in the blob moving that way, but just part of them. Most of the blob moving that direction. There we go. Starting to break them, but at what cost? Just really lost about 500. We'll do what we can to kind of hunt down the rest of these stunties here, and I will catch you all in a moment. Alright, in a Pyrrhic victory, we only ended up losing a couple of our, or at least one of our Goblin and Wolf Raider units. The settlement garrison even managed to survive, which that matters a little bit less, but the expendable units were used as such, and we got out of that without losing too many of our main four. We are going to nom on the rest of those captives, though. Okay, Clan Angren stayed away. Alright, after that fight, we gained ourselves a Swindler. As we normally do. A good deal of Wa points. Still moving our way up towards the Wa manga. We need to call the Wa. We already had 100. Crooked Moon Wa fails. The Wild Hunt for Orion is active once more. He's going to behave more aggressively. It's a bit crowded around here lately. Put the gits to good use. We got a little bit less global recruitment duration for all units, and then a bit more capacity. Current total 100. Yeah, it looks like we've maxed out the wall bar already. Just as a bit, it's not caught up yet. It's still as we were on the previous. Yeah, let's call the Wa. So I'm tempted to go after. Now the Raddies are a little bit too strong. Well, they would give us the biggest trophy. Getting into a fight with Clan Moors right now is not something that I would really like to do. Let's finish off one of our current. Cetra's doing very well for himself. That's terrifying. The number of times I've seen Cetra this high up in the faction strength rank, can't count him on one hand. It's usually Skarbrand. Yeah, okay, that's what we're gonna do then. We're gonna come back over and declare the Wa on Wurzzag. Allows us to keep this pretty centralized here. Take out the rest of Clan Angren that is too nearby. Smash them all the way back up and over. They'll probably keep Karak-Ezor, but that's about it. So we'll dedicate this on over to Gork for a bit more weapon strength. Orcs for missiles. Gork is the best. Orcs. We have 20 turns, and the Wa boys will start filing on in here. Which means we'll probably have to a bit more, a little bit of a better track on our battles going forward. It's a bit unfortunate that I have to warp through, because we were able to ford this river last time, no problem. Such is the way, I guess. Come on out and fight the Sea Corps battle. That is tempting.
Green profit.
Not necessary. We should probably save that for when we need some Wa points in a hurry. Go ahead and hit the Underway. We'll take down Vertinos, and then we'll try to trade that off to the pirates and keep moving along our merry way. Rack takes up 20. I probably should have recruited a few more in Zugrak's force before we activated the Wa here. No, Cazador has decided to siege is the only way. If I take you for a Wurzzag? I mean a bit, can't lie. A wee bit. I'm gonna give the Broken Tusk Mob the scrap saddles that can move a little bit faster. I'm probably gonna also upgrade the Air Boys with load time reduction is probably the best call. Only costs 20. If we lose the battle, we just lose a bit of a scrap. No problem. Added shields for passive ability, missile block chance plus 30, 15 additional armor. Alright. I mean, is that of any use against a grudge thrower? No.
Gork, send me to battle.
We'll have to see on that one. We are at 5,000 negatives. We are going to have to do some damage in order to get our income back in order, but it's time to start dealing the damage back to the stunties. Alright, Fred. Let's give you the Wound Maker. 769 weapon strength, Wild Fury for Greg, who is now just an absolute monster. Greg and Larry are the Endbringers. Come on over here to hit Barag the Wazbag. They don't see the stunties trying anything sneaky. Thank you. Come on in and crush this group. Gabos for our first group with Fred. He usually gets very lucky though, so. Loot and Occupy, Sack, or Raid. That was Loot and Occupy. This belongs to us now. Fred, the Assault Expert. He's courageous too with that. Yeah, dodgy geezer. No, I think we'll just go ahead and give him the hard to hit. Although ward save for all of our orcs is probably what we want to go for too. So we've got the real savage boys. We'll also end up giving him some cavalry. So let's go ahead and make Colossal Warp. Oh, interesting. I should have read Colossal Warplane is normally for just trolls and giants. Ward save for savage. Yeah, that's a. If I knew that was there, you can really boost up your savage orcs then. That's awesome. Sure, it's for biggins. No, it's for everyone. Sneaky. How much ward save can you get? 10%. And causes terror? Yes, please. Alright, things are looking up. But for now, I am out of time for today. I have been at Space Wizard of War. I believe a like for like god and a sub for the sub-thone. I'll see you on the next one.